this guy must have been so lonely in his head to actually get to that point because he kept constantly talking about mental health. Canelo, Crawford.
Yeah, I set my alarm.
What a fight!
I got up for it.
Well, I managed to get to the ring walk and I just
did you?
gone.
What, you fell asleep?
Yeah. I went to the Misfits and I saw Joey Essex at it. Andy's saying, I'd have some of that. I'm like, you sure? You want some of that? He said, yeah, I'll have some of that. Joey got in there like a little kid. And so I thought, yes, Andy's got this. So I said, I'm training you. Welcome to That Boxing Show with me, Johnny Nelson, and my the brains of the bunch and former bass guitarist, because I kept saying he was a drummer for some reason, Andy Nicholson. I know he kept bugging me about that, but I just got it wrong. Our show will be so intriguing, so interesting. Please stick with it and bear with us. We'll have various guests from all genres, not just boxing, music, football, whatever, you name it, we'll get it in one way or another. We have a hit list. Andy, welcome.
Thank you.
It's going to be quite a ride.
Yeah.
Now, before we start, I've got to throw you under the bus.
I knew you were going to do that.
Right, so I went to the Misfits the other week and I saw Joey Essex at it. So before I went, Andy's saying, I'd have some of that. I'm like, you sure? You want some of that? He said, yeah, I'll have some of that. Joey got in there like a little kid. And so I thought, yes, Andy's got this. So I said, I'm training you. So Andy is going to throw his hat in the ring to say, I'm having a piece of this action. Now we're going to tempt Joey out of this. So I spoke to the organisers there, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me just check him out. Now, Andy Nicholson, former Arctic Monkeys based guitarist. This guy has got his own fan base. Now I'm saying, Joey, if you want a piece of action, he's there. It might look soft. Look at them gold teeth, man. This boy can fight for fun. But don't make looks fool you. Now, that set it up.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. No, I'd do it. I think that'd be great. I love that whole thing. Just five-a-side, innit, for an older. I feel like it's five-a-side boxing. You know what I mean? You get older, you can't compete like that anymore.
Have you ever done anything like it?
I've never done no box. I've done sparring with Gary. Who was he? He didn't want to come and spar with me anymore. But no, he probably would have. But it was fun though. I enjoyed it. I like the sport, innit? Yeah. I like the sport, and I'm not going to be a professional boxer ever. But I like the thought, and I was saying to Jordan, if I got to 50 years old and I'd never had a boxing fight, I wouldn't like that. I'd like to just feel that atmosphere and kind of do it one time.
Well, I know you're very competitive because we played paddle and like.
Well, I played paddle. You stood there.
Anyway, we played paddle. And I had an injury, and my man didn't. He took no prisoners. He proper had me everywhere. I got a hip replacement, man. You know what I mean? And my knee was in, and I trained that morning. Still, I just like pow, 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 just no mercy. So, all right, I'll get my own back. So,
but I never got asked back. I never got asked back. But also, while we're throwing people under the bus, I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Well, yeah, you know what? Let me tell you a story.
Would you eat a donkey's leg?
So let me tell you a story. I went to do an interview. I went for an interview once at the ITV headquarters for that. And it was a year when Ian Wright did the show. And there's a really posh lady, when we went into the office, and she asked about it. She said, so it was kind of pre-interview for the Am's a Celebrity. And so she sat down, she said, do you watch the show? I said, yeah, I watched the show. She said, who won it last year? And I said, I think it was Katie Price, Peter Andre. She went, that was 10 years ago. So she said, okay. She said, so what are you scared of? And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you that, because if I tell you that, then what happens is you're going to do all those things that I'm scared of. She said, no, we're a family show. She's really posh. She had a double barrel name. Can't remember her name. So I told her, I said, if I tell you, trust me, I won't do it. She said, you mean, what if your campmate's food depended on it? I said, I'm black, I eat rice, fuck him. so she said, right nervous. I said, no, fuck him. I won't. I ain't doing it.
So you're not doing it?
I don't do.
Wait, do you want to say it?
I don't care.
No, go on, say it now.
I don't do confined spaces like a coffin. None of that. And cold water. That's it. And I always always like scare the kids. So when it comes to getting in the sea, I do it with my granddaughter all the time. I say, listen, sharks have got really bad eyesight and they love seals. So they look at little black kids like we're seals. You know what I mean? So I scare my granddaughter. That's what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't get in the sea. I might go to feet up and that's it. So no, I wouldn't do it. So when she said it, I'm like, I don't mind. Everybody will starve that week.
So if they come knocking, you'll do it, but you're not getting no cold water, no tight spaces.
So when we left, we got in the car and somebody rang the car and they said he's been sent to compliance or something, basically saying, we think you're in. I'm like, all right. So it was a case of me and Ian Wright are getting in, and Ian was asking for ridiculous money, I gather, and he got it. So which is why apparently I didn't get in, but apparently Ian wasn't that exciting. So Ian, you should have just, well, he did throw his dummy out the pram, didn't he? But nah, I won't do it. None of that business, man.
But you still might. You never know.
As long as everybody's prepared.
I'll do Misfits if you do that.
I'll be in your corner for Misfits if you be my stunt double.
Yeah, I look just like you. That's perfect. Yeah, we'll do that.
Of course, when we do this show, I know what's important is getting into the psyche and understanding of a lot of sportsmen and women. Because people, they just see the highlights, they see what's happening on the TV. They don't see when these guys and girls go home, having to deal with that. And it's not just about sport, it's in music as well, when you've reached the heights of the heights. How important do you think that is to address?
For the mental health side, I think it's very important. I think for younger people coming up, and also even, you know what I mean, people who've been in the sport and retired, it's like you've had something part of your life for an amount of time and now it's not there anymore. What are you going to do with that mental space? How are you going to be able to deal with that not being there anymore? Like for me, I had my issues with the band. I parted ways with the band. And then I didn't even realise that there was anything not quite right within myself for a long time. It probably took 10, 15 years for me to realise, wait a minute, this isn't right to be feeling like this or
what was that
treating
feeling?
yourself. I don't know, probably a depression and just not taking care of myself, like mentally or physically. Just kind of like going through the motions of life and thinking this is how life is and how it's always going to be until certain things happen and you start to take care of yourself, whether that's in spiritually, mentally, physically, whether that's running, going to the gym or a therapy or anywhere like that. I feel like they're important to touch on with all these guests that we're getting in because that's going to play a part in everyone's life.
So what I think people will struggle to understand is they'll see someone at the highest of the highest, they'll think, what problems have you got?
Yeah.
And so you perform in front of thousands. You know, the Arctic Monkeys are one of the biggest bands that the UK has produced for quite a while.
Yeah.
So was it that adjustment from stepping out of that and still seeing the band carry on and perform?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think for me there was a big thing of like, when you're in something like that, as you know, you've got schedules, you've got this is coming up, this is then. I had years planned out for me. And then when it all stopped, I had nothing planned out for me. I went from knowing what I was going to do this time next year to, I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. And there's no support whatsoever for anything or anyone in that situation. You really have to take it on board and go and find the help that you need. And that's also having realised that you're going to need the help. Do you know what I mean? Or realising that something's not quite right.
And that's why I think something like this, a show like this, I want us to touch on that.
Yeah.
I know you'd gone on various courses because you recognise that in yourself.
Yeah.
So you wanted to help others. But forever we see that with sportsmen and women. Unfortunately, God rest his soul, Ricky Hatton, we lost him last week.
Yeah.
And there was many talk about the depression that he'd gone through through his life. And unless you have time to sit back and try and understand, this guy was like, he'd perform in front of 20,000, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Then to just be a civilian, it's hard to comprehend if you've never been there.
Yeah, it's also kind of, I think you've got to have the close people around you. You've got to have a close family, people and friends that also understand the situation, but also it's an acceptance within inside yourself. You've kind of got to discover, like we were talking earlier about, like people buying things, trying to find happiness through buying things and physical things and money and things like that, and it's not that. Like eternal happiness and peace is inside you. You've got to uncover it. It's there anyway. You've just got. It's just over years it's been adding shit put on top of it. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of clearing all that, but also having the mind to know that is there and within everybody. And you've kind of got to dig into it and find that.
I think touching on Ricky again, I think I personally, I probably struggled to actually speak to anybody about it, because I thought the consideration was to the families. You know, I think that the news broke on this Sunday morning. By 11 o'clock, it was on the news, and I thought, well, what about his family? What about his cousins, his and people
finding out that way?
People finding out that way.
Yeah.
And so my heart and soul went out to them as well.
Yeah.
Plus for Ricky, because I thought this guy must have been so lonely in his head.
Yeah.
To actually get to that point because he kept constantly talking about mental health, talking about the darkness of life. So at 46 years old, I thought it was important to show the respect to the family.
Yeah, definitely. And also I think with what happened to Ricky, if that is what we don't know what has happened, but in a mental state, we've got to be looking after each other. You've got to feel all right talking to somebody else about your problem and what's going on in your head, because just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to believe it. Your brain is going to lie to you all the time. You've just got to decide what is a lie and what isn't.
Yeah.
And I think for Ricky, the things to understand was this guy was a great guy. He was a great father and a great fighter, and put on shows that everyone has seen and witnessed. And the Mayweather, the Pacquiao, these fights that you could never even dream of happening has happened to this guy, and he seemed like such a normal person.
I suppose it's what you value as well, because it's not, I've said it many times before, it's not what you've got in the bank, it's not what car you drive, what jewellery or clothes you wear. It's about what value that really makes you happy. And so to me, my wealth is family. And so regardless of what you're in, musician, sport, whatever, I always find in any sport, in most sports, when you've been reaching a certain height, within 5 to 10 years of retirement, that sportsman or woman hits some kind of adversity in their life because they're chasing that rush.
Yeah.
They're chasing that something that gave them that same feeling when they performed. And so, which usually ends up in drink, drugs, you know, financial, whatever it is, because you're chasing something that not many people are going to experience in life. So it's very hard to meet somebody else that understands that sadness, that darkness.
It's difficult to talk to someone about a situation when you've never been in that situation or struggled mentally whatsoever. It's like you can't really give anyone any advice if you haven't experienced the things. Hasn't got to be exactly the same thing, but if you haven't been through the hard times, how are you going to tell this person it's all right and you're going to get through them? Do you know what I mean? You've kind of got to have lived your life and have that experience under your belt.
I think we've all been through it. I know when I asked my mum, I think the worst thing was actually finding somebody to speak to that actually got it. And finding somebody that understood your cultural background. So for me, I'm like 58, 58-year-old black man. I'm not going to get some young guy that's come out of university that's learned life through a book. I need someone that understands the culture, understands me, understands where I'm coming from. So I think if it's in sport or whatever, I think practical experience of somebody giving you advice and help is more important than anything else if you want to try and get through. But then it's having the courage to actually speak out.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest. That is the biggest problem, is having the courage to actually speak out and say, because no one wants to admit when they're down or when they're weak or when they're feeling like they're not 100% and they can't set the world on. Do you know what I mean? That's no one wants to say, oh, I'm feeling shit today. They want to say I'm feeling great. And that's why people look at Instagrams. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to show you the best day of their life, not the worst day of their life. So I think it's just using this as a platform to kind of reach out to people and figure out what's going on in the mind as well as the career.
And I suppose that's what you're going to see. The guests we have on will not just touch on what they've done as a job. We'll try and touch on the personal side of it. We'll try and touch on the vulnerabilities that I suppose it could be some kind of easy counselling session, a bit of light-hearted counselling session, just so people accept who they are. So I'm quite sure it'll be interesting to go along the lines. I was always curious with you. When you wasn't with the Arctic Monkeys, I thought to myself, because we went to the concert down at in Hillsborough, and I was watching them, and I thought, I wonder how he feels, because I can see the group there, and like, from my point of view, when I fought and I see cruiserweights fighting for the world title, I'm thinking, I'd smash you. I'm still thinking, I'm gonna have you. But then I just got to accept I'm not there anymore. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And so when I was watching you, watching them, and the part was packed out, but you was then stood there enjoying yourself. I thought, you know what? I don't know. Has he found a place of peace?
Yeah, definitely found an amazing place of peace now with that whole thing, and I can now watch that as 4 of my friends doing something and taking the world on, and every time there's something new come out, I can see it, I can let them know, yeah, that was good, that weren't so good, that was a bit shit, that was good. Do you know what I mean? Things like that, and really just like communicate with these people, because I didn't for a long time. There was years where we didn't talk and things, but you've got to grow up, you've got to accept what's happened to you in your life, you've got to deal with it and not get too hung up on what's happened.
So the Andy today, yeah, because I think most of the band live in the States, in America.
A few over there, a few over here, yeah.
Would the Andy today be want to be that guy living out there? Or
I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to. I mean, I'll go and live in LA for a year, but I don't really want to move away from my family, my friends. Do you know what I mean? My partner, everyone. My life is here in this city. I'm driving on the same roads that I've been driving on all my life, and I couldn't imagine living anywhere else, to be honest. I want to stay here, and I want to make it work here. I love being here.
So there's no regrets?
No regrets whatsoever. I don't think regrets are a good thing to have. I think they're just all lessons that you've learned from, and you'll either do it again or you won't do it again.
Let's touch on something a bit more light-hearted. Canelo, Crawford.
Yeah, I set my alarm.
What a fight!
I got up for it.
Did you stay awake?
Well, I didn't stay awake. No, I set my alarm for 5:25. In the morning.
Well, I managed to get to the ring walk, and I just gone.
What, you fell asleep?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I got to the ring walk, and I was gone. I'm like, I'm struggling here.
Oh, I caught the ring walk. I caught the whole fight. What a fight. What did you think?
I thought the fight...
Did it go the way you thought it was going to go?
You know what? I think we knew what Canelo was about, or we didn't know if Crawford had what he had to withstand what Canelo, what it was about, and he proved, I can do it. I think a little snippet we sent out on this before was, if Crawford can get him on his back foot and box, a 39-year-old Crawford, be it fighting a 95% Canelo, should get the job done, because a 40-odd-year-old Floyd Mayweather beat a 24-year-old Canelo that was young, fast and sharp. So that style actually suits him, but you've got to be confident with it. This guy was cool as ice.
Yeah, he was.
Crawford is cool as ice.
Yeah, he was.
Before, during, and after. Now the only problem is this, in our sport, if you can fight, that's a massive plus, but you've got to have some character around it. And I think, I don't know what the viewing figures were. I think it was like 41 million or something like that, compared to 1 or 2 others. And Crawford's a nice, down-to-earth family guy. He doesn't want no grits. He can just fight.
Yeah, and he doesn't really need to sell the fight.
Yeah, and so I think that might be his only holdback. You see it with Andre Ward. You see it with other fighters that they think, I just want to fight. Yeah, I just want to have fun fighting. So if you love the exhibition of the fight game, I think that you would have absolutely loved it all the way through. Yeah,
it was a great fight. It was a great fight. I don't think it ever got into a point where it's like, oh, this person is clearly on top. I think slowly throughout the fight, Crawford just had the edge on every round that slowly got to the end, and he outpointed him. And there weren't no major things. I did see Canelo say after the fight that he thought fighting Crawford was better. He was a better fighter than Mayweather, which surprised me.
I think that was an easy jab.
Yeah, I felt like that was more of an easy jab.
And maybe again, Canelo, when he boxed Mayweather, he was inexperienced at that point. He was only 24 years old. Mayweather had done it all. And I actually thought Mayweather was cashing out, because I thought, why would you fight this young gun? But Mayweather's skill and experience did it all for him. So, but all in all, it was out there in LA. It was a great night.
Yeah, good fight. I'm glad it went the distance as well. I feel like you get your money's worth, don't you, when it goes the distance? Yeah. But I couldn't see anyone getting knocked down, or I don't know what you saw, but I couldn't see there weren't really any moments where I thought, oh, it's any minute his head's wobbling.
Yeah, well, I think initially when it was called out, I think Crawford, don't do it, man. This guy's too big, too strong, but he showed what he had to show. So what we'll do this show, that boxing show, will be on every month. We'll have various guests. It won't be just boxing or football. It'll be everybody. We've got a hit list we're trying to hit for. So slowly but surely we'll see him sneaking in. Come and join us every month. Like and subscribe, get involved, follow that YouTube family. Put little clips on Instagram, just so you get involved. But please, enjoy the ride like we will.